What up, y'all? If you're jumping in late, week 6 is upon us. Share the stream a couple spots, and then we can get rocking and rolling. Probably just going to be me today, so no one's going to stop me. Let's get the pineapple turned on. Hey, yo. I don't think I'm live on Twitter today. That might be a huge mistake. But I mean, what up? Hop on in. Get your questions in there. Thumbs up the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit me with those IDP questions or non-IDP questions. The link to the rankings should be in the description down below if you want to look at the full week's rankings. What up, Rougarou? Man, you really you one of the main peeps up in here these days. Look, good seeing you again. You were here Friday night. Fuck, I almost forgot I did a show fucking Friday night. Or was that Saturday night? No, it was Friday. Y'all watching this game? You see that that Marvin Jones touchdown is pretty nice. That's all Marvin Jones been doing, though. Love me some Marvin Jones. All right, get those questions in. Check out the rankings. I'm trying to get this shared a couple of spots so we can get some folks in here. I don't know why I didn't. I wonder if I can still stream to Facebook or Twitter. All right, it says I'm streaming to Twitter now. Interesting. Cool. Yeah, he had a bad one last week, but I mean, Marvin Jones is not bad. I mean, everybody has good games and bad games. I mean, Devontae Adams let you down a couple of weeks ago. Scary Terry. You know, Stephon Diggs hasn't really taken you home yet. So you drafted Marvin Jones probably as your 3 or 4, and you just got a touchdown before anyone else did probably in your league on Sunday morning, week 6. So take it to the bank. You still got a whole half of football too. Looks like Nasir Adderley is going to be out. IDP people out there. We had some other inactives that were kind of a big deal. Drew Tranquil has been declared out already, but just bringing that up for you. Hopefully you guys got your Underdog drafts in. If not, go click the link below. Get a couple Underdog drafts in this morning. $5 you can get in the tournament. I think this weekly prize is like $60K or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, it's fun. It's super fun. The drafts are so fun to do. And you're like watching TV, you're just hanging out. So get in there right now. Even while you're watching this live stream, you could probably be doing one for real. Mark Hernandez says Trey Flowers, Max Crosby, or Leonard Williams. I need one. All right, I'm going to look at my actual rankings today as I go through this. Kind of see where I'm at here, so I can tell you where my head's at. I think it's going to be Max Crosby, Leonard Williams, Trey Flowers, based on just looking at this. Yeah, I've got Crosby at 10 this week. Then I have, where do I have Leonard Williams? I don't have Leonard Williams in until 31. And then I have Trey Flowers in at, did I pass him already? I had to have passed him. I have Trey Flowers at, I can't find him in my rankings. Is he really that low? Anybody else got questions, you can go ahead and throw them in there. I'll try to get to as many as I can today. Man, I don't even know if I got to double check my rankings here. I don't see Trey Flowers in my ranking set. Oh, he's questionable, I guess, if he's playing. So that'll explain. I don't have him in my set because he's questionable. Good bringing him up. But it's Max Crosby's going to be your play here, my guy, Mark. Pressures have been there. The snaps have been there. He hasn't had a big game. I kind of have a feeling that this Raiders team is going to come out and just they're going to play with some energy today. John Gruden's out. The toxicity, whatever you may or may not think about John Gruden as a person. This team's identity was just kind of taken away, but at the same time, maybe this team's identity is really going to be unmasked today. Maybe we're going to see Josh Jacobs get those receptions that we always thought he would get. Maybe this pass rush is going to actually get home on some of these pressures that they keep cooking up. Maybe some of these corners and these safeties are going to make these big plays. Maybe Derek Carr unleashes Henry Ruggs, throws him the ball like 14 times today. We don't know. But what I'm saying is this is going to be a fresh-looking Raiders team today, and I think they're going to play with a little pep in their step. So I have Max Crosby pretty high, so I'm going to rock with Max Crosby. Rougarou says Chris Jones out again today. Yeah, it looks to be that way. I need to take him out of my set. He's still in there somehow. But, yeah, he's going to be out, which kind of sucks. We expected a big year from him, after a couple of kind of down years. I think 2018 was his really, really big year for IDP. There's like a zillion quarterback hits, like 25 tackles for loss. I think he had like 14 sacks, 15 sacks, something like that. Since then, he's been much more pedestrian, much more closer to the mean for your defensive tackles. Back with Cunningham questions. Yeah, you and me both, brother. Cunningham or Brooks? I know you have Brooks top 10, but Cunningham has a really nice matchup. Stick with Brooks. Yeah, ride the hot hand with Brooks. I mean, we're watching a player ascend before our eyes, similar to like Logan Wilson. We're just watching it happen. Don't watch it happen on your bench. You know what I mean? Like, we know, even at his very best, Cunningham is going to get you 14 tackles at his absolute peak. We haven't seen anything close to that this year. It's actually been a really wonky year for him in that whole kind of team. Houston, I mean, you project them to get their asses handed to them. They fight back. The quarterback that's supposed to suck looked okay. Looked better than some rookie quarterbacks have this year. So I know the long-term bias in our hearts says Cunningham, but roll with Brooks. He's looking fresh right now. He wears a cool visor, and he gets a fuck ton of tackles. So Tyreek Ellis, what up, big dog? Yo, what up, Tyreek? Good to see you, my brother. Parsons or Logan Wilson? Let's get these dubs. That is a good question. I can tell you right now, my rankings are going to tell you Logan Wilson. He's just been playing so freaking good. I can't imagine not having him in my lineup at all costs. Yeah, I have him at 5 this week. In contrast, I have the young king, Logan or Micah Parsons. Where is he? Ooh, I have him. Maybe I still have him in the DL set. Sheesh. Guys, I am sorry. All right, there he is. He's going to probably be around 18 when I'm looking at this all said and done. Yeah, Devin Bush. I'll definitely play him by Devin Bush. Yeah, I think I'm going to have Micah Parsons right around 12 this week. So I'm actually updating that right now. So I would still go with Logan Wilson, kind of like what I thought. I like the Micah Parsons matchup well enough. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a good turnover opportunity, equity, whatever you want to call it, playing the rookie quarterback. But we've seen a lot of plays be made by Logan Wilson. And he gets Detroit. They pass to the running backs, which means there's going to be a lot of stuff in the middle of the field. It's Jared Goff, which means there will be opportunities for mistakes to be capitalized on. And if there's anything Logan Wilson can do, it's capitalize on other guys' mistakes. Marquand Hernandez come back again. He says Lennon Collins, Kyle Duggar, Crookshank, or Julius Peppers. Need one. Jabril Peppers, I think is what he means. My rankings are probably going to tell you Landon Collins number 1 of that group, and I would be inclined to agree with that. He hasn't really had a massive game the kind of way that we've come to expect from him over the years, but he is getting plenty of snaps. He's playing basically all the snaps, in the middle of the field where you want him to be in the box. It's Kansas City, which is not a super great matchup for defensive backs, but I have him at 30 this week. And then Duggar, I have a little bit lower. Yeah. And then Peppers, where do I have Peppers this week? Oh, Daniel Sorensen is getting not starting today. I saw that news pop up. It'll be Juwan Thornhill. So Daniel Sorensen is getting a pretty good bump down in the rankings for the rest of this week. But back to the question at hand. I just need to make sure I need to double check where I have Peppers. I wish there was a way to search this. I'm sure there is on the page. I'm not super well versed in keyboard shortcuts. I moved Juwan Thornhill's definitely coming up. Man, Dan Sorensen again really helped you start out the season this year. If you had him, thank him, because he's been getting things done for you. Hope you enjoyed the ride, though. It looks like this ride may be over. Oh my gosh. I bet he's not in here because he was out last. There he is. He's not even in my ranking set. Oh my gosh, guys. You want to know why my week-to-week rankings are bad sometimes, or from last year? The reality is, well, one, COVID got me, but like a lot of times I'll take guys out of my ranking set in the middle of the week and I'll forget to put them back in. And because IDP on Fantasy Pros is not as kept up as the offense, when I go in, the guys that should be at the top, like on Fantasy Pros, they default put like the most popular guys at the top. Well, because there's so few people doing IDP, guys don't like get pushed up to the top. So like Jabril Peppers, I was like scrolling to like the top 10 or 15 like supposedly most important players on defense. He wasn't there. I had to search for him. So I'll just miss guys. That is on me. I need to refine that process a little bit, but they don't make it super easy. They don't say like, hey, your ranking set is missing this player in IDP the way they do on offense for you. So have their people call my people. We'll get it sorted out. Yeah, I'm playing Lennon Collins, then I'm going to play Jabril Peppers, and I'm going to play Kyle Duggar, and then Crookshank. That's the order I would go in. Trusting Collins here, trusting Peppers. He said he was ready to go back in last week. They didn't let him go back in and play, but he claims he was ready to go back and play last week. So if he claims he was okay and he's okay now, this feels eerily similar to last year, where for the first 4 or 5 weeks, Jabril Peppers didn't do a lot, got hurt, got knocked out of the game. Things were looking bad. People were out on the Twitter streets and they were stunting. They were like, yeah, Jabril Peppers sucks. We told you. And then Jabril Peppers came back and dunked on him for like 6 20-point games in a row, 7 20-point games in a row. So I believe in you, Jabril. We believe in you, Jabril. We stand for you, Jabril. All right, Cunningham start today or go Grugier Hill. I mean, I still think the academically sound reasoning play would be to play Cunningham, but I'm kind of like trying to avoid the places I am starting Cunningham. He's not in like my linebacker 1 or 2 spot. He's like in an IDP flex spot. It's kind of, and I do stuff like that to like show, help myself kind of categorize the hierarchy of how I play guys in my leagues. Now if I didn't have better linebackers, he might be higher, but because in most of those leagues I do have better options at this point, he has kind of been relegated to that flex play, high end flex. Obviously, like I still think your chances of catching a linebacker 1 week out of him are not terrible, but this week I have him at 27, so that's like borderline. You know what I mean? All right, Sam Mendelson, is Khalil Mack playing? That's a good question. Inactives come out for the noon games in about 15 minutes, so we will kind of sift through that together as well. If you guys see any reports or see any tweets or anything, I think you can like throw the link in here. I might be able to like pull it up or something. So if you feel so inclined. Mack or Robert Quinn? My answer is both. Both playing very well right now. Robert Quinn is surging again. Now that I've kind of been like showering him with praise, fully expect him to go throw up a donut this week. But you know what? There's also a chance that doesn't happen. He goes out there and balls. Khalil Mack is still questionable. I have Robert Quinn ahead of Khalil Mack this week right now, actually. Hot. Robert Quinn, 24. Khalil Mack, 28. So some of that probably is the hedging on the questionable. I'd have to go back in time and ask myself when I did do these rankings originally to find out. Peppers or Minka? Definitely Minka. Minka's having a good year. Not just like a good year, but like a phenomenal year, really. The kind of year a lot of people said he would never be able to have because he's a free safety. But I think right now he's a top 15 defensive back overall. He's ahead of a lot of guys. And it's not just big play nonsense with him right now. It's tackles, which are every IDP head's favorite stat to look at. Tackles and pressures. And guess what? Minka's racking up them tackles right now. He's got 38 through 5 games. Now, that's fucking insane for Minka Fitzpatrick. But let's just do the math here. So the 38 divided by 5 is 7.6 a game. So 7.6 a game times 17 games equals 129 tackles, motherfucker. All right. So this guy, his career high before this was 80. Was 80 as a rookie. All right. He's almost got half that right now. He played all 16 games as a rookie. So Minka's like, he's just out here just stunting. I mean, for real. Now, I know his play has dropped off, which is why his IDP play is shooting up. I don't give a fuck, okay? Like, I'm so tired of the back and forth. Like, this is an IDP show. He's a boss, okay? He's also drippy as hell. He also makes big plays, and he's got big plays coming because guess what? No interceptions this year. None. And even crazier than that, no pass deflections, okay? And this is a guy who those things are his bread and butter. 9 pass deflections as a rookie, 9 as a sophomore, 11 last year, none this year. So as one of the known better corners in the league, maybe people aren't targeting him as much anymore, but tackles are up, scores up. He's got some big plays coming his way. Minka. We've been standing for Minka a long time too, believe that. Rest of the season, Brooks or Logan Wilson. I mean, dude, come on. That's like, I don't know, like DK Metcalf or AJ Brown. Like, I mean, they're both great. They both got really positive things about them. They both got things that make you a little bit, well, not really anything that makes you go about them. They're just both great. I mean, it's kind of pick. Who do you like? What team do you like more? Who are you a fan of more? I don't know. This is something you're going to have to ask yourself internally. I mean, for me, rest of the season, I would probably go with Logan Wilson just because I kind of have pushed and, been the conductor of the Logan Wilson hype train. Not really, but I did jump on it pretty early, and I've been a big fan of him. A lot of stuff on the channel over the last year about him, a lot of stuff, just positive things about him going back a long time. So I would probably go Logan Wilson personally. ROS. So, is game back on yet? Y'all share the video. If you got like a group chat or like a text thread or like a Twitter group or a Discord channel that like does IDP, drop this in there. I appreciate that. Tell your people to subscribe to the IDP Army channel. Give us that thumbs up. Give the channel a subscribe if you have not. See, about 50% of our viewers every month are subscribed and about 50% are not. So I don't know a lot about YouTube ratios, but I like those numbers. I think train tracks, 1, 50, trains go in the right direction. So if I got, half my views are coming in from people who are already here and half are coming in from people kind of sniffing around, take it. So, anybody got any advice, they want to share? Anybody got any things going on in their leagues that they want to tell us about? We're here together. It's 10:30 in the morning. We're watching football. It's a beautiful thing. All right, we got the game back on. Let's check the box score of this game real quick. See who's doing good for IDP. Oh, Jordan, the box score. Who looks at that? What a pleb. You know me. Plebbing it up. All right, what we got here? Jerome Baker, 3 solos, and that's it. He's leading the way for Miami. Yikes. Big yikes. Oh my gosh. Javon Holland, 2 tackles, a pass deflection. Eric Rowe, 1 tackle, a pass deflection. All right. Let's see what the Jags have been doing. Oh man, we got a bunch of comments all of a sudden. Y'all fucking jumping my ass. Oh wait, are you? Oh, yeah. Okay, here we are. Javon Holland looks good. Yeah, I hadn't done a lot, though. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, like, just take yourself back, like, I don't know, 6 months. Okay. Damian Wilson got 8 tackles. He was one of my sleeper guys coming into the year. But I mean, that's just because Miles Jack is out. So Sean Jenkins doing good. I had him a little high this week, I felt, but still early, but 6 tackles. I'll take it. Man, Josh Allen, what are you doing out here? 2 tackles, a pass deflection, and a quarterback hit. All right. We like to see a sack tacked in there somewhere. Numbers aren't supporting it, but a great buy. Oh yeah, Javon Holland. Okay. We got some positive reviews of Javon Holland out here. I know he has been getting the snaps, that's for sure. Numbers aren't supporting it. Yeah, but I mean, he could have those plays coming. How long do I wait for Eric Rowe? Until you have a replacement, I guess. I think in the index he's pretty low. I think he's in the lowest tier. But I mean, once you get past that top, I don't know, 2 dozen defensive backs. I mean, it literally is just basically just one big tier of everyone else. Like defensive back 30 could be like 80 guys. That's probably where Eric Rowe is. He's in that nebulous. You can play him. Something may happen, something may not happen, but he's gonna not score. You know what I mean? Should start Marlon Humphrey, Teron Johnson, or Kyle Duggar? That's a good question. Okay, so we got Marlon Humphrey. He's going to be playing the Chargers. They pass quite a bit. They have a pretty high up-tempo kind of offense, too. So I really like that. Teron Johnson with the Bills. Who do the Bills play this week? I got to double-check this before I go too crazy. They play Tennessee. I like that, but I don't love that. I think I like Marlon Humphrey a little bit more here. And Kyle Duggar would be the third choice. So let me see if my rankings kind of back up what I just broke down there. All right, gotta watch this game. Oh, there goes old James Robinson. Y'all really just gonna... Oh, he fumbled! Oh, shit. Come on, Jamesy. Don't do that. Maybe they got it back. They'll give it back to him. All right, so in my rankings this week, it looks like I have Teron Johnson 2 spots higher than Marlon Humphreys. I have him at 22. I have Marlon Humphreys at 24. And I have Kyle Duggar at 37. Duggar can probably go up a couple of spots. Doing that now, adjusting on the fly. But yeah, I mean, it's pick your poison. I love Teron Johnson. I love Marlon Humphreys. I would probably play Marlon Humphreys. I just got a feeling that game's going to I have a feeling that game's going to be fun, both sides of the ball. So if you want to take my feelings and let them dictate your lineup, that's what you should do. All right, James Robinson got in. Good job, big dog. Laughing my ass off. Agnew is the number 1 target for Jacksonville. Yes, I mean, does that surprise anybody? It was him or Tavon Austin. That was the only thing that could happen. What's up, guys? What up, Lou32 Lofton on the YouTube? Should I start clowning this week or Dunlap in the DL spot? Clowning is questionable. Man, Carlos Dunlap is like, I don't want him anymore. I know I gassed him up this offseason. He's one of my misses on the sleepers. Pete Carroll. I mean, I just like Pete Carroll. Everything about the Seahawks is just gross right now. Even Jamal Adams is kind of gross right now. Everything not named Jordan Brooks on that team is like pretty much gross right now. So I would start clowning. With trade value relatively low, Zaven and Rowe are dead weight on my roster. Yeah, I mean, if you're in a redraft, I'd have to know your format exactly. But, where do I sit so that this fucking bar isn't on my face? I gotta make a new one of these like little thingies right here that's smaller so like it's not like poking me. Ah, so angry. Oh gosh, kicking my camera. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're in Dynasty, man, that's I mean, you can probably drop Rowe maybe. I mean, if you have a better option. In redraft, though, I mean, yeah, Jaylen and they're both probably dead weight. I imagine you're probably not starting either of them every week. Since it's a dry Sunday, let's discuss how Derwin usurped Jamal Adams as DB1, laughing my ass off. Yeah, I know. I mean, he's just actually been closer to the player that he's been traditionally than Jamal Adams has been. And even though that player is, traditionally less impressive than Jamal Adams isn't being his typical self. So we have to hand it off. I'm not so stuck in my analysis and stuck in my fandom and stuck in my takes that I can't, adapt and change. That's something that that's what I do. Nothing is forever. Nothing is, what it was last year. It's what I've been keep telling myself. This isn't last year. Things are different. So even for Budda Baker, it's a different kind of year. Derwin, though, he seems to be having a similar type of year to what he's always had, putting up the appropriate number of tackles, has the big play upside. He still got, people never gave up on him. They were always right. I'm so happy for those people. Is Jaylen Ramsey an automatic lock start at CB every week? Yeah. If you have a CB spot, he's on your team. I can't really. There's only like a small handful of guys you should be thinking about playing over him. Like Trevon Diggs, maybe Kenny Moore. And then you're starting to get into Jaylen Ramsey area, Logan Ryan if you're on MFL. Rougarou, is Quiddy going to play today? Start him or your dude Yannick. Yannick, if it's between two of them. And I don't know about Quiddy playing or not. It's 10:31, which means inactives are going to start dropping. So I might shut the fuck up here for about 2 minutes and kind of look over my list. I have a list. I don't know if you guys follow list or whatever on Twitter, but I have a list of just all 32 NFL teams. And that's what I look at to like kind of sift through all the retweets and the subtweets of the same kind of stuff. Like the teams just when they put stuff out, I just look at that. So what we got here? All right. So Washington football team inactives. We don't really have anybody relevant to us. Curtis Samuel. Vikings inactives. Nobody really relevant to us. I mean, Chad Surratt, if you're like, what? Anthony Sendejo is inactive for the Colts. Kiko Toure is inactive as well. So it looks like Quiddy is going to be active. Nobody Bears-wise relevant. Sammy Watkins is inactive for the Ravens. That's curious, I guess. I don't know. I haven't been following that. Believe it or not, I haven't been following Sammy Watkins' injury all week. Call me crazy. Start Sweat or Gregory Rousseau. Okay, we still start Montez Sweat around here as an auto lock. Okay, Gregory Rousseau, like he got a little shine, but my guy, Travis, come on. Have some respect. Jalen Smith will be active for the Packers today. What does that mean? They're crying from the hilltops. Jordan, tell us what it means. It means that you can play him as a flex option, but I don't think that he's immediately just going to take this job away from Devondre Campbell like that. He might, but I think this will be like a transition week. So like 65% of the snaps will probably go to one of them ish, maybe. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It'll probably be Campbell. They may play some two linebacker sets too. Other inactives coming out. Bada boom, bada bing. Tua ain't look bad today, y'all. I'm just gonna say it. He ain't look bad. He's out here playing the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. He don't look bad. Come on, y'all. That's the only teams that have put out an inactive list. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. What up, my dude? Appreciate all the love from everybody who retweeted and shared this. And if you didn't, I still love you, just like less than those other people. Hit me with those start sit questions, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls. And hit me with any. I'll answer your offensive questions too. I hope you all have been checking out the show me and Dave Kluge have been doing. The Underdogs. We have a playlist on the channel. You can go check that out. We do a head-to-head underdog draft every week. Everything we do fantasy football. It's a fantasy football podcast. It's gonna be a show on this channel. And maybe when we make our second or third channel, it'll move over there. But we're getting it started. It's gonna be all fantasy football related stuff within the Underdog platform. So you may see, I say fantasy football, but they have baseball. They have basketball. All right, we're talking now. We're cooking. They have some golf. Don't think they have MMA, but they have other fantasy sports on there. I know basketball season's coming up. I love watching basketball, even when it's in football season, because it's on every night. The season's long. It's really basketball. I'm just getting more into it as I've gotten older. So anyway, come check out the show. Subscribe. I think I'm like 45% sure that, okay. I did not put the link to that in the description of this show. That's on me. I could probably actually just share it in the comments. I don't know. Do people do that? I don't know. I need to watch more streams so I can learn about like what's more like socially acceptable within the stream. Joe Mixon or Gibson? Okay, so I'm like spooked by Gibson's injury, which really didn't mean anything last week. He was still really good, but Joe Mixon apparently is fully healthy. They get Detroit, and honestly, or they get Detroit this week, right? I mean, double check that. Yeah, they get Detroit this week, and Joe Burrow's been humming. I've low key, like, I'm not like a Burrow. I've always, quarterback position, when somebody tells me a guy's super great, I'm always a little skeptical. But if you go look at what Joe Burrow's been doing this year, he's getting a lot of touchdowns. He's getting plenty of yards. And he's been doing that coming off this big injury without a truly sustained run game, because Mixon's been in and out, kind of here and there. But there's seeing him be that successful and knowing that Mixon is supposedly coming back looking really good. I really like Joe Mixon's upside. And that's from somebody who's like not a big Mixon person. Like to the sound of like, I literally don't roster Joe Mixon anywhere. And I play a lot of fantasy football, even in daily this week. I just don't have any. I just like have that much bias in my heart. But I'm telling you that if I were not an idiot, I would have a lot more Joe Mixon right now. All right. Eden Ontiveros on YouTube says, should I start Daryl Williams or Khalil Herbert? I'm starting Khalil Herbert. That's just it. The Chiefs running back has just not been somebody that's been impressive. I don't care who it is, really. I mean, okay, I say that. That was kind of rude. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been fine, I think, honestly. I think we wanted him to be like 1, 2, or 3 just because there's so many guys like that on that team. I mean, literally every other position, you have a guy who's like an alpha 1. You have Mahomes, alpha 1. Tyreek, alpha 1. Kelsey, alpha 1. We used to have Kareem Hunt, who is an alpha fucking 1, okay? We don't anymore. So we got a running back who was an alpha 1 for LSU. I mean, you all remember the hype around that team in that season and everything, and we just came off the Super Bowl, so like the fact that he was anything other than an alpha number 1, like was already disappointing that he wasn't like the number 1. But he's been fine. I mean, he's just, but it's not great. So his backup's coming in. Give me Khalil Herbert. I like the volume he got last week, especially with no real reception work. I could see that changing. Just because it didn't happen last week doesn't mean that it won't happen this week. So I'm going to take Khalil Herbert. Burrow, my guy, my dude. Yeah. He got a lot of fans, that old Joey Burrow. Good kid. Evan Ingram or RSJ? Go RSJ, baby. Ricky Seals-Jones. I mean, you're already playing tight end. Just shake him up. Let him hit the table. Camu Grugier-Hill or Kenny Young? This is tough. I still think you're probably going to have to play Kenny Young because he just has so much upside for a big game. But that's scary. That's a spooky question, man. It's spooky season. It actually finally got a little bit cool in Missouri here the last couple of days. Thought you guys might like to know that. All right, let me see if I can do this. Get your questions in, and I will do my very best to answer them for you. All right, I'm going to try to send something through StreamYard in the comments here. I don't know if that'll work as a link or not. Ooh, that's ugly. Okay, I guess you can click that, though. That's the links to the Underdogs. If you guys want to go subscribe to that, that would be super cool. I appreciate it. Underdog Fantasy is a good time. Grugier-Hill or Littleton? I'm going to go Littleton. Again, I think that this team's going to play with a little tenacity this week, the Raiders. Littleton hasn't been getting all the snaps primarily, but he's been getting enough, and he really has been producing. Nothing special, but I still have more faith in him than Grugier-Hill at this point. So that's where my head is kind of sitting between those two. Oh, we got one I forgot up here. Burns or Rousseau? I'm still going Burns. He's seeing more. I don't know if you guys saw an article this week that the Panthers pushed out, but he's getting more attention from offensive linemen. He's getting a little bit more, like they're trying to scheme him out a little bit, which is, it is what it is when you get better. You're going to face that kind of stuff. But he still is extremely good. And we know his role is 100% intact. Rousseau, we still have some ups and downs with his snap counts. We have still seen them, pull him out some here and there. He is making the plays you want to see from a rookie. I think he's going to be a great player going forward for a long time. But in terms of just true confidence, I would go Burns still over Rousseau. But if I'm in Dynasty, I love having both these guys on my rosters. I actually just activated Rousseau off of a taxi squad, 2 taxi squads this week. So I was like, it's time. We're doing it. Like, you look good, and in some of these deeper Dynasty leagues, that second, third defensive lineman can really make a big difference on your team. Having somebody who is getting points, because it's such a boom bust position. But if you can find somebody who even gives you a semblance of continuity or consistency, he's been doing that, and so has Owe from the Baltimore Ravens. I think I was just looking; he's averaging, I think, 13, 14 points a game right now through 5 games. That's huge from a defensive lineman. I can actually show you guys how huge that is. I have some older, this is some stuff. Okay, so what I say, he had 13. This is DeForest Buckner last year. Oh, I can get that little comment out of there. 13.2 points last season. He was one of the top defensive linemen in the league. So Owe is already putting up numbers that literally so far this season are matching these other guys. Brian Burns last year, 13.6. So Owe right now is keeping up with guys who finished in the top 10. That's not important. That's something actually as I'm reading this now and saying it out loud, I'm kind of jaw dropped myself. Because I literally just saw him sitting out on a waiver wire in a league that's kind of deep. And I was like, well, I don't, honestly, as I'm sitting here saying this out loud, I guess I was just like, too much to drink last night. If he's not on my roster right now, I made a huge mistake. I'm pretty sure I put something in for him, though. Anyway, Odafe, I believe that's how you say his name, having a great season, putting up 13 some odd points a game right now. So yeah, these rookies, this rookie defensive line class, wasn't really hyped up a lot. Jalen Phillips was probably the most hyped up guy. Shout out to Peter Schrager. Always gotta give my dude Schrags a shout out. He doesn't get enough of those. You know, but Jalen Phillips was really, really hyped up, and so far he's not been the most overly productive person. I say that. I was actually looking at this box score earlier. Let's see if Jalen Phillips has done anything today. He has 1 tackle, and it was an assist. So, yeah. James Robinson, how was he got? 60 yards? Good old Jamesy. Man, Damian Wilson, 10 tackles. Doing good, doing good. Sean Jenkins up to 8, 5 solos. Nice, nice. Y'all get these questions in. Anything you got? Let's go win some straps this season. Let's go win some straps today. Let's go get some W's today. Make sure your lineups are all set. I went through last night, did my first. I call it a rough draft. I kind of treat setting my lineups like, you do writing something. You kind of outline in your head, okay, like first you got to go make sure you got all you guys on your bye weeks out. Okay, great. Now I've done that. Now it's okay. What am I kind of projecting for this week? So who do I want to have in? Okay, go through, do that. Maybe that's like Friday, Saturday night. But then you always have to come back and you have to do a spot check before kickoff because they're inactives, things shift. Okay, that's the thing about the NFL. It's crazy. And there's so many variables that are not static. And that's literally almost minute to minute, because play to play, snap to snap. So, which is kind of one of my primary arguments for these guys that are like, these they play Devy and Dynasty. That's like they play for like 2 and 3 years down the road. I'm like 2 and 3 years down the road conveniently never really fucking comes. You can always just keep pushing it. You know what I mean? And just to have the hubris to think that in 2 and 3 years you have any fucking idea what the players on your roster are going to be and their value is going to be and the kind of points they're going to put up. Madness, insanity. All right, got a couple questions here. Mark Hernandez, do you think Derek Barnes is going to work his way to 80% to 100% snap range soon? I don't know. They really like Anzalone. They like what he's been doing. But if this team continues to lose, which I project they will, towards the end of the year, they're probably going to start having to play him more because they're going to want to get more reps from him because he is the future of their linebacker position as it stands right now. So I could see it happening. Yeah, absolutely. Tyreek Ellis. What about an offensive podcast not centered around best ball content coming? Okay, that's a good question. I appreciate that, Tyreek. The thing with the IDP Army, the thing with my brand or whatever you want to call it is, even the underdogs is like I identify as an underdog. That's just how life is. A lot of people I think identify as that. You weren't really dealt a great hand, but you still have to fight. And you can still win. And everybody loves an underdog. It's easy to root for an underdog because we have a lot of things in common with that. So I think a lot of people. I'm just gonna give you guys a macro on kind of my thoughts of the fantasy space and stuff real quickly, just because fuck it. A lot of people get into what they know, and that's why there are so many podcasts that are just dynasty and offensive related, because it's easier to create content around that stuff because so many other people do it. So many people exponentially smarter than myself and even some of the people that do it. But because there's so many hands in that, and so many people doing that, the research is so done, it's so fine-tuned, it's easier to go present that information. So now I can just go make a podcast. What I got to do? I got to listen to these 3 or 4 podcasts. They're going to have all this information for me. I listen to it. I go spit it out to somebody else. Boom. And it's good quality content. Why? Because I know it is, because I got it from quality places. That part of the market, the fantasy market, is kind of oversaturated, and it's hard to build a brand saying the same fucking shit that other people are saying. Like, I don't understand why so many people don't understand that. Like, you're not going to get a leg up if literally all you're doing is the exact process I just told you. Listening to PFF Pod, listening to Dwayne McFarland, the Hustle Pod with him and Drake, listening to Establish the Run, listening to the ballers, you can listen to all those fucking shows on Monday, all that shit drops. And you can regurgitate that shit on Tuesday to your audience. And so many people do that, you know, and that's whatever. I don't want to do that. You have people doing that for you already. Now, if you guys really, really would love that kind of content and would really like that stuff to be part of what we do in the future, the brand is going to expand. We're going to have everything, you know what I mean? And we will talk about that kind of fantasy. But over the summer, I dabbled in it a little bit more, try to kind of run up some of the numbers on the YouTube channel. And to be straight up honest, a lot of people that already subscribed to this channel didn't like it. And I have a sense of loyalty to these people who have come to my channel on the internet and said, hey, I'm going to listen to what you have to say about IDP. Do I want them to listen to what I say about offense? Yeah, because I do have different takes, stuff like that. But that's not what they're here for necessarily. So I kind of pivoted back to being more into IDP. But at the same time, Best Ball and Dynasty to a degree do offer an underdog outlet, okay? A place to put content that is not as crowded, where the work isn't just all already done. You know what I mean? There are some people with their hands in the weeds over there doing that, but there's space to grow and there's space to be a pioneer. There's space to lay the groundwork and to be a leader in that space, kind of like IDP. Which is why when I got into fantasy football, I literally chose IDP because I knew there was less people doing it. I knew it was going to be harder to kind of navigate and grow in because I wasn't going to have a lot of groundswell from people around me because not a lot of other people do it. You know what I mean? Again, there's two other IDP podcasts and they're not even that good and they fucking hate me. Okay. So not only am I doing this, I'm doing this kind of in spite of a lot of people. You know what I mean? But by showing myself that I'm able to do this and kind of grow this brand, I know that I could also do an offensive show and all that stuff. And that stuff is coming. That's a long-winded way of saying we have a lot of stuff in the pipelines. We're going to be bringing some more people into the IDP Army family. The brand is going to stay the same, obviously, but we're growing. You know, and that's always been the plan. I've always been very transparent about that, the IDP Army. So it's coming someday, Tyreek. Okay. But right now we are still the underdogs. Okay. We're still the IDP Army. We still have a chip on our shoulder and we still gotta, we gotta establish ourselves in our zones and in our spots. And then when people see us over here and they'll see us coming for other spots and they'll know we mean business. So fuck yeah. Let's do it. That's a great question. You got me all fired up, Tyreek. Let's go get them. Whoa, Christian Wilkins, sack, strip fumble. Yeah, he has a game like this every year. He pops off every once in a while. I think last season, week 2 or 3, he was like the number 1 overall defensive lineman. They drafted him to be like that. You know, his body type too. I know he plays interior. If you look at him, he's a very long and athletic for an interior defensive lineman. I think he could even develop into even more of a consistent kind of a player. Oh, got that. Is that Arnold or is that the other one? I don't know. There's so many goofy tight ends down in Jacksonville. John Simmons. Do I start Melvin Gordon, Sterling Shepard, or Kadarius Toney at flex? Bruh, you got to rock with Toney. Okay? That dude's lightning in a bottle. Lightning in a bottle. They're just going to fun. And I say that, and here's what's going to happen. He's going to get 2 targets today. So you got to play Melvin Gordon. Nah, for real though, it's between Melvin and Kadarius. I would probably take Kadarius for the upside. Melvin Gordon's touches have trended down the last 2 weeks. I think a lot of that has just been game script dependent though. He had 18 3 weeks ago carries. Last week he had 9. The week before he had 9. So he had as many carries the last 2 weeks as he had 3 weeks ago. I could see that number coming back up. So I mean, if Melvin Gordon's going to get 14 carries and 2 receptions, that's 16 touches. You can take 16 touches to the bank for some points. Kadarius Toney, I don't, he's lightning in a bottle. If you want to go ceiling, it's 100% Kadarius Toney. If you want to go floor, I'm probably taking Melvin Gordon. Sterling Shepard, my relationship with Sterling Shepard is this. It's a long one too, going back years and early in my fantasy football career. And it basically goes like this. He gets hurt a lot. He has migraines. He gets his shoulder hurt. This dude's busted up all the time. Yeah, every once in a while you play him and you get like 16 points. Sometimes you get like 20. He actually literally helped me win a league once by putting up like a 25-point game when I picked him up off the waivers in like week 2 or 3. Never forgot it. But He's hurt me in my lineup so many times by doing nothing or getting hurt. I just cannot advocate playing him unless you hard up. And if you have Melvin Gordon and Kadarius Toney on your team, I don't think you're that hard up. Just my 2 cents. Also, do you think the tackle floor of Harold Landry is legit? He's an edge rusher, but his solo, yeah, it is. Go look at the last 3 years. Actually, and I can probably like show you all this shit. Okay, I'm gonna try to pull something up on the index just to kind of show you how consistently good Harold Landry's been with his solos. Bada boom, bada bing. I haven't really been gassing up the index as much as I should. If you guys want to get in there, it's awesome. But okay, let's see what we got here. Try to share the screen with you. Check this out. Chrome tab, Ultimate IDP Index, default view. Okay. So you should now, in theory, be seeing this. Okay, so I'll take this down. And I will take this down. All right, so here's the index as you would see it on your desktop. We're going to go down to his PDF database, click into that. Now, I think that might have taken me. Okay, that took me to a new page that I'll have to share with you. But give me 1 second and I will. Okay, so share, Chrome tab, Harold Landry database. All right. So Harold Landry solos in 2020, 46, 23. So he had, what was that, 69 tackles? It's almost 70. Okay, that's huge. Let's go back 2 years. Harold Landry 2 years ago, 43 and 25. What is that? That is, 68? Huge. Almost the exact same number. Oh, I'm such a goober. It's over here on the right side. Total tackle 68. Okay, let's go back 3 years. All right, 44. Okay, Jordan, that's not great. Well, let me double check how many games he played real quick that year, because there may be a reason for that, or the snaps may have been lower. And if you break it down by per snap, he probably still had a great season. Okay, so in what year was that? 2018. Harold Landry, 2018, only started 3 games. Okay, there's your explanation for that snap count or those numbers being lower. So yeah, I mean, the long and short is yes, absolutely. I mean, I've been a Harold Landry stan for a long time. It's interesting. He's finally getting the nod of approval from PFF, so people are kind of on him, but he's always been good for IDP and probably been better than people realize just for real fantasy football. All right, my computer's like acting like it's fucking running Windows 2000 right now. So I'm going to have to just close this out. I literally don't even know if my stream is still going or not. That's how ridiculous it's being. Okay, I think we're still here. All right, so anyway, I hope that kind of helps you see, Harold Landry, he gets a lot of his points every year from his solo tackles. You can see from this column over here. You can see from his total. Again, this year he had 44. And he started 3 games. Just for a point of reference, okay, Myles Garrett, I don't think he's ever even had up to like 45 tackles in a season. Okay, so as a rookie, Harold Landry went out, put up 44. Yeah, this floor is high because this floor is high. It's not going to stop being high. So Harold Landry is #good. Anyway, there's a little peek into the index for anyone who's not in the Ultimate IDP Index. You guys, there's all kinds of goodies in there. And it's only going to get better. This is the first iteration of it. This is the first year of it. It's just going to keep building on top of itself. Really excited about some of the things we got coming. So continue. Don't change who you care, who you are. Do what you do, me. The reason we're here is because you're different, not mainstream BS. We were forced to be fed so many other platforms. Yeah. I mean, again, like that's not, I don't mince my words, for better or fucking worse. But I think in the long run, that's going to be a net positive for me. Legit. That's why I ask, tune up your offensive takes. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put them out there, guys. I appreciate it. I really do. But I want to stay true to what we do. My true love, is as a pioneer for IDP. But best ball needs more people in it. Just fantasy football in general, just getting bigger and bigger. Fantasy sports is getting bigger. and it's fun, it's engaging, and it really is like an interesting kind of community. A lot of outlets, a lot of upside for industry. So yeah, big fan. Sports are never going to go away. Competition's never going to go away. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. We are crossing the 1 hour mark. Hit me with any, like I said, any questions you guys may have. If you guys want to see some more like charts from the index, maybe I can show you a couple of those. Join the Patreon to do that. The ultimate IDP index tier is the $13 tier. Probably going to go through and kind of update the way my Patreon set up to here in a couple of months or as soon as the season's over. Just like I said, to shift forward, if we are going to get bigger, we are adding more stuff, adding a second podcast feed, bringing on some more creators. Some of the offensive stuff you guys see too might not just be me. Doing a show is a lot easier when you have somebody to play off of. I won't lie to you. Sitting here sometimes and just talking nonstop, people are like, I think it's so easy to do, but it's just like, it's tough. You have to have organized thoughts. You have to actually have something worth saying. Mark Hernandez, should I sell high on Quincy Williams, or do you think he continues this level of production for the remainder of the season? I wouldn't sell high. Keep him. Just take the points. You didn't pay nothing for him anyway. I mean, you could flip him, but what's your come up? If your come up is a player who's scoring 3 less points than he is it a come up? Even if it's a different position, then you have to weigh it against who you were starting there. So I'd probably keep Quincy, especially he has a DB tag on Sleeper. Snead or Jackrabbit, I'm going to take Snead. I'm going to take Snead. Oh my gosh. Why doesn't Mike Gesicki get targeted like 15 times a game? I'm just like so confused because every time like he has a game like this once or twice a year where it's just like, oh my gosh, like Mike Gesicki is wide open every snap. Crazy. Oh man. Got any more questions, y'all? Hit me with them. Appreciate y'all being here for sure. There he is again. I swear. I slid him into a lineup this morning that I was starting Austin Hooper in. And I was like, you know what? That's real stupid. I should play Mike Gesicki. 19 points. 110 yards, 7 of 8. That a boy. Austin Hooper wouldn't dream of doing that. I'm 0-5 in this league too. This is the beginning of my comeback. Mike Gesicki. This is where it all started. Someone offered me Queen for Littleton. What do you think? I'd take it if it's dynasty for sure. Queen has a lot more long-term upside, but Queen has not been playing great this year. And they said that the coaches had told them, listen to what they said on the preview the other night. They said, the commentators, I forget who it was, but they said the coaching staff essentially said he's not developing at the speed they want him to either, which was, that's not, you don't usually hear a lot of stuff like that out of the Ravens. So, in the spirit of this week's Twitter thread or Twitter, what a trend, the red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. Like, that's definitely a red flag. But Corey Littleton's got his own red flags too, obviously. So that's what I think. I think that damned if you do, damned if you don't. Who was the Dallas DL Malone suggested last week? That was, I got the graphic up. I got this. I got you, brother. Let me see here. Where's he at? There he is at the bottom there. Osa Odigizua. Those are all the guys that were on my waiver wire targets for this week. All right. Anybody who watched these streams from Pittsburgh, I never get any. I mean, obviously that's a Pittsburgh thing, TJ Watt, but anyone know who this band is? Anyone ever met these guys, The Last Hope? They're friends with another band from Pittsburgh called Once Nothing. When I was young, I spent the summer in Pittsburgh going to shows and shit with those guys. I'm just always wondered if anybody would ever notice or recognize it. Or anyone out there ever go to a big music festival in Illinois called Cornerstone? I know they played at Cornerstone at least once or twice. There's another big music festival, Christian music festival out Ichthus, I think, out in like Pennsylvania. I think they played that too. I need Claypool to ball out. Yeah, same, bro. Everybody does. That's like all he does. He puts up like 70, 80 yards every week. I don't understand why there's any hesitancy to play him. You know, the Big Ben narrative. Oh, Big Ben, Big Ben. Like, who cares? Listen to these numbers. 70 yards, 96 yards, 130 yards. He's a wide receiver 3, and he's missed a game. And he's got it done on 6 targets. He's gotten it done on 9 targets. He's got it done on 15 targets. I mean, anytime this guy gets targets, he basically puts up massive points. Yards per catch, 15, 23, 11, 26. The demise of Big Ben has been greatly exaggerated by the mainstream media. But you know what? You know what makes a really good tweet? What makes a really good take in your show? Something you can giggle about with your other little NFL insider friends. Saying words like noodle arm and retire sells. He'll retire after. Oh, Jaylen Waddle getting TD number 2? Okay. Yo, Jaylen Waddle, he's going to be a beast. Like, I would much rather I think I'd much rather have him than Devontae Smith. I know people were kind of, like, he's not just, what I was told was he's just going to run 9s. That's what I was told, okay? That's what all these Devy guys told me. He's just going to run 9 routes. He'll probably get 60 targets a year, blah, 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 blah. False. He runs a lot of routes. He gets a lot of red zone targets. Now, I will say, like, I've been watching, like, I'm not a talent scout or anything. Oh, before I get too far down the weeds, I'll take Lennon Collins here, my guy. He doesn't run the best routes, but he runs good routes. Like, they're not like Stephon Diggs, like surgical, but like he gets open. And he can, like, and the thing is, like, he kind of is Stephon Diggs in that way, like he's always open. Even if it doesn't look like he's open, like he's like, nah, bro, like I'm open. Like you see this like area right here. I got it. And he just gets it. Good hands, good ball tracking, good body control. Hey, Billy, remember when you said Jaylen Waddle was going to suck? Billy, I know you're out there watching, Billy. Billy's been real quiet this morning. He always come in here talking a little mad shit, but Jaylen Waddle out here balling. All of a sudden, Billy busy. He probably just continental breakfast out there in Norman, Oklahoma or whatever. He was at that Sooners game yesterday. College football, man. What a scam. Waddle taking total advantage today. Yeah, it has been. All right, y'all. Well, not as many people in the stream today, but I also didn't share it as many spots as usual. But I appreciate y'all being here. The waiver show for this next week will either be up tomorrow midday or Tuesday morning at some point. Keep an eye out for the underdogs. What's your opinion on Chris Jones? Got another question here. I mean, my opinion is he's fucking you right now. I mean, you can't play him. I hope you didn't overpay for him. What are you doing with Chin in Dynasty? He's becoming unreliable. Only start 4 IDPs in a 12-man league, thinking of dropping him. Yeah, and okay, in that scenario where you're only starting 4, he's very droppable. I would go scouring the waivers for some linebackers if I could, or maybe so like Owe, who I was talking about earlier, from the Ravens. Like, he would be a great guy to pick up instead of Chin probably here. You know, he's just not You're right. I mean, he is a little less reliable than he has been. I have him down at 21 today at defensive back. I still think he's playable at defensive back, but if you're only starting 4 IDPs, I think you can probably put together, put somebody in there that's going to have a little bit more upside for you. Craig. Good luck today, everyone from Rougarou. Yes, sir. Hey, Billy, you out there? There we go. Picked up Owe and Okreki. See, those are, I would play both. I feel more comfortable playing both of those guys at this point. And Chin droppable, probably. But, you know, if you don't have to drop him, there's a chance that he could still pull something off soon. It is only week 6. And if he starts trending the right way now, he can still have a really good season. So you don't want that to happen on somebody else's roster just yet. Anybody out there an NFT head? Kind of getting into the NFT space a little bit too. Just think they're pretty interesting. I used to do a lot of cryptocurrency stuff. I say that. I bought a decent amount of Bitcoin and Ethereum, decent amount in like 2015 when I was fucking broke as a joke. But I just like knew it was going to be something meaningful, so I bought as much as I could afford, which again was not a lot. I'm not like fucking sitting here on like, you know, big bags or anything, but I have more than just like your average pleb, I think. And people are like, oh, you know, what's the utility of it? Blah blah blah. I don't know. I just know I don't want to not have any. And that served me well because I had Ethereum and I've just kind of had it. I've been able to buy some NFTs, which another thing people are like, oh, what's the utility of it? I don't know. I just know that 5 years ago I bought Ethereum with dollars, and now with that Ethereum I'm buying NFTs, and I wouldn't be able to buy the NFTs if I hadn't bought the Ethereum. And so whatever the fuck my NFTs end up doing for me in the future, I wouldn't have been able to do, except that I bought them with the Ethereum that I bought that I didn't know what to do with. So I'm just saying, just because you don't understand something, I'm trying to just be involved, you know? I mean, it served me well, being open-minded. So anybody out there into NFTs, have an NFT, want to send me an NFT? One I do have is, I don't know if anybody from the crypto world out there is listening at all, probably not, but Loom Dart is this dude. They actually just had a big boxing match in Dubai yesterday. He and this other big crypto guy with a big following. And he, I got some an NBA Top Shots. Nice. I tried to get a Top Shot. Every time I tried to get in, I was never able to get in line and like actually get it through the boom. And I kind of just quit fucking around with it, and then it like fell off. I saw. Do I think Diggs plays today? Yeah, I think he does. We'll have to check it, but I think he's going to want to play. Players want to play, you know, and I think he's had on such a good streak right now, and they're going to want to have their best players on the field against Belichick, so I think he's going to try to get him on the field. Anyway, circling back to my cool NFT story, I have an NFT now, and he's this thing called a Wazi. He's like a penguin, but he also looks like a platypus. He's really cool. He's my profile picture on Twitter. You guys should go look at him. But I also have one of these Mad Rabbit things too. So all that to say, come on this journey with me. I just started it the other day. If you have some NFTs, let's talk about it. I'm interested. Curious. All right, we got a 2017 point game down here. Miami with a very small lead, but is this where Urban Meyer gets his first NFL win? Get it, Urban. That's called our Urban Meyer button back here in the studio for anyone still watching. Who knows how long it'll be relevant for? Probably not very much longer, so glad to get a couple of clicks in today. Oh, Urban. We can't click the John Gruden button. We don't have a John Gruden button. Fourth and 5, 8:50 left. They're punting it. Okay. Crypto has been a life changer for me. I got into the market back in March when the Corona crash happened. Man, that was a good time to get in. Last March, I think fucking Ethereum was like dirt cheap. It was dirt cheap. It was like $90, $100, $200. Bitcoin was sitting pretty chill back then too. I got into it in 2015 or 16 was the first year I ever made a Bitcoin purchase. It was at like $1,200 or $1,800. Like it was sub 2,000 when I first did it. The last time I bought it was like 40. But the last time I bought it when it was still like super uber cheap, it was like 12 or 14K. And I didn't have the money to buy it at the time, but I just knew, I mean, just like it's not going away. It's just one of those things where it's like, you don't have to believe in it. You don't have to understand it. Just know that it's the fucking truth and it's happening. Don't let it fucking miss you. So that's why I tell every motherfucker out there who doesn't play IDP too. Bet. Oh. Yo, I need a new chair, a new desk, a new computer, a new mic. Oh, baby. What's your crypto journey been like? You know, I mean, like for me, it was early. I was Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's pretty much all I bought. I put a little bit of stuff on some alts. But man, the alts were just so dangerous. So many of them crashed out. But man, the crypto market was wild in like 2015. I mean, I'm sure it still is. I got on and checked some of my exchanges, and some of my shit was like down at zero. And I sent to Litecoin somewhere. I can't find it, so that feels pretty terrible. Because what I used to do was Litecoin was faster in like 2015, or was quicker to move, and it was cheaper to move than Bitcoin and Ethereum. So what I would do is I would buy Ethereum, or I would buy Litecoin, and then I would send it to exchanges because it was faster to get there, and then I would just convert it to Bitcoin. So I have Bitcoin on the exchange. So on some exchange out there, there's 2 Litecoins worth of something, because I'm sure I didn't leave in Litecoin. I just need to fucking go hunt it down. I think it might be on KuCoin. Have a lot of trouble getting in there. 2-party authentication, all that shit's fucking wild in crypto. Man, Ethereum for $100. Unreal. Unreal. The funny thing is, that's like what I bought my Ethereum for back in the day, that I just had sitting around. Like it was like $200 or $300, I think, when I first bought it for like 1 Ethereum. And again, it was like I didn't know it was gonna turn into a lot of money. It was just like, don't miss it. That's why I'm interested in NFTs. I don't fucking understand them. It doesn't matter. A lot of smart people out there do. A lot of wealthy people out there do. I'm in. Do you have any NFTs, Mark? Any interest in getting into the NFT game? Like I bought one the other day. I bought this one. He's Matt Riot Rabbit 2 days ago for like 0.08 ETH was the floor, which floor is like the lowest price one is. And right now they're double that, the floor, and it's just been 2 days. So I could turn around and flip it, but I don't want to do that because like I'm like actually interested in it. And my dude is like super cool looking. Like I'm actually like low-key obsessed with NFTs. I just don't have enough money to buy more, unfortunately. Because like I said, I bought Ethereum and Bitcoin, but I wasn't like fucking going ham. I didn't fucking make any money then either. You guys like my pineapple? My wife got it for me. She's great. All right. Well, this has been fun. It always is a pleasure to be here with you. Like I said, come back around on the channel. Check out the podcast feeds as well, because we have a lot of stuff there that doesn't go up here. Billy's got a Dynasty podcast called Dynasty Tailgate, which is kind of like college football related, but also kind of Dynasty related. They call that Devi, I think. And then we've also just got like a football show that's he and a couple other guys. They talk a little DFS on there too. Joe, one of the 420 hustlers in the house. What up, brother? Alex, go sub Alex's channel, y'all. Alex is fucking streaming, man. He's a machine out here. But what was I saying? Oh, our guy Joe that's on that show, the OP, he's like a semi-pro golfer. Kind of, I think. I don't know. He's really good at golf. I think he's semi-pro. We'll call him semi-pro golfer, semi-pro DFS player. So some good information over there, good nuggets, good shows. So, all right, I'm rambling. I love y'all. Let's go kick some fucking ass this Sunday, okay? It's week 6. Do not be unbearable, okay? Like if you're winning or you're anything good's happening for you in your leagues and your league chats, just get involved today. Make sure you're talking shit, because the window for shit talking and all that stuff is slowly dwindling away. Have fun out there. I don't have any NFTs besides Top Shots. I have a huge amount invested, so I have no interest in trading. I've been hodling and plan to sell Bitcoin once it gets to 100K. So sell it for what? Dollars? You want to sell 100K Bitcoins for dollars? Don't do that, my guy. What you need to do with your Bitcoin is save it. Pretend it doesn't exist. That's legacy shit. Hand it over to your kids. You don't want to turn into dollars. That's the last thing you want to do with it. That deflationary toilet paper. Forget about it. Forget about it. Bitcoin is the future. I'm a Bitcoin maxi. Hodl. That's all I do with my Bitcoin. Hodl that shit. Hodl for life. A trending keyword? What does that mean? We're trending keyword. We made it. We made it. You're damn right we made it. We was always gonna make it. No doubt. No doubt. Doubters. Haters, yeah. No doubt. No doubt. You put in the work. Can't nobody stop you. Tell him, hustler. Tell him, hustler. Tell him. Preach. Preach. The Church of Bob Marley. That means it searched a lot. Hey, people are looking for us. Here we are. You found me. I know, it's a big letdown. Those thumbnails are dope as hell, though. I know you clicked it. Hey, speaking of which, if you know anybody out there, I mean, hustler, I know you got somebody making your thumbnails, but I think I make a dope YouTube thumbnail. I'm not going to lie. And if anybody out there wants a couple made for their channel or something like that, I enjoy it too. Like, it's probably the most enjoyable part of the YouTube process for me is making my thumbnails. I just love it. I don't know what it is about it. It's just fun. So, yeah. I just have such a hard time leaving you guys, like we're just having so much fun. Oh, I totally agree, but I put in way more than I could afford if life's changing money at this point. Hey, straight up then, dude, that's what's up. Congrats to you. Power move. Double, triple down. I mean, I have nothing but respect for that, especially if you can. Like at the time of my life, I'll share a little. At the time of my life that I bought the Bitcoin, all that shit that I did, essentially I was buying, my money was being allocated for like 4 things: housing, this game that I played. I was literally addicted to this fucking video game. It's so stupid, pay to play. And then like drugs and alcohol. If I would have taken the money from the drugs and alcohol and from the game and when I just bought crypto, because those were like the 3, I remember I would do this all the time, my 3 big purchases every month, or 3 big percentages of where my income would go. If I would have taken the money I spent on drugs and alcohol and on that video game and put it into Bitcoin, y'all wouldn't be fucking looking at me right now. Okay? I wouldn't be here. I'd be sitting on a beach in Cabo. I'm an idiot. But at the same time, like I said, I still have a little bit more than your average pleb. So congrats to you, man. It really is the future. I mean, digital money, it already exists. Like, I mean, it's weird that some people like still like are like, I don't know, I don't get it. It's like, no, it's not for you to understand. Okay. Don't try to, but just it's here. You know what I mean? It's like Facebook or TikTok. It's just like, you'll get it later. Like, you'll figure it out later. The thing you need to understand is it's happening around you already. Like, it's here. There's a whole economy that runs on it. You know what I mean? So that's my Bitcoin NFT revival speech for you. So join the IDP army, sub to the Patreon, hop in our Discord, join me in a draft on Underdog. Go kick some fucking ass this week in fantasy football. Thumbs up this video, subscribe. Love you, appreciate you. Follow along on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, etc., etc., etc. I'm out of here, IDP army. Much love.